Hey folks, this is Katya, the vegan powerlifter, and today we're going to talk about RPE, what this means, how to use it in your powerlifting program, in your strength training program, and what to make sense of the numbers that the coach gave you when they program RPE for you. Let's get started. So first, let's understand what RPE stands for. Okay, RPE stands for the rating of perceived exertion, or the effort that you put out during a certain exercise. So for example, if my max squat on the competition day is 180 kilos and I cannot squat anymore if somebody puts a gun to my head, that's RPE 10. If I'm strolling with my folks around town, or if I'm biking and I can do this for 5 miles, I can do this for 10 miles, that's RPE 1. Means I can do this forever. If I took 1 kilogram, my water bottle, 2 kilograms, however many, 5, and I'm trying to do biceps curls with it, and maybe I can do 15, maybe I can do 20, maybe I can do 30, I don't know. That's also like RPE, I don't know, 1, 2, 3. If I took 10 kilograms, I can do a lot less, but I can do a lot more than 5 reps. That's still kind of below the level that we will track in powerlifting. Most coaches will use RPE from 5 to 10, even though the scale goes from 1 to 10. 1 means you can do this forever. 10 means this is your maximum effort and you cannot do any more reps. Like life or death, you still cannot do anymore. RPE 9 means you can do 1 more rep, or you have 1 rep in reserve, 1 repetition. So for example, if my max squat is 180 kilos, I have calculated / I knew around that time, about a year ago when I was at my strongest, that I could squat 172 kilos for a double. So if my coach wrote me 3 singles at RPE 9, I know that that would be 172 kilos. I would just have 1 rep in reserve, okay? If RPE was even lower, if it was 8, that means I could do 2 more reps, but I'm just not doing them. I'm saving them in reserve. That would mean I would lower my weight even further to about 165 kilograms for me. As you can see, the scale is not linear. It is also subjective, okay? It's subjective based on your state that day. Very important, and that is also the reason why a lot of coaches like to use it instead of percentages. I like to use percentages to get an approximate number, what my client should shoot for that day for that lift. And for a lot of beginners, it's tough to evaluate RPE. So I'm going to give them range approximately this amount. Like squat, 3 sets of 6, RPE 8. You can shoot for approximately like 90 to 95 kilos, I think. So they're going to warm up and they're going to try 90 and then they're going to evaluate. I did 90 kilos for 6. Can I do this for 2 more reps? Nah, I think I could do 4 more. Then I'm going to add some weight. My coach said 90 to 95. So let's add 2.5. They add 2.5. They're like, that's probably right. That probably sounds right. Maybe I overshot it. Maybe I couldn't do for 4 more. Maybe this is RPE 8 and I can only do 2 more. So if you're a beginner, you're going to kind of randomly try to guess your RPE and be like, I thought I was close. Well, turned out this is failure. That's okay. You're starting out. Your strength is increasing rapidly. Your strength might not increase rapidly equally in squat, bench, deadlift, and other exercises. So you might be off when you guess it, when you guess your RPE, and that's okay. Just try to kind of underguess it if you're lifting by yourself, if you don't have a spotter, if just to stay safe. I would say, well, for most men, I would say try to underguess it, or for very ambitious women. For most women kind of usually they're afraid. This is a generalization, but most women are afraid to put more weight on the barbell and go to the level of effort that the coach prescribes. But especially if you're lifting with a spotter, if you're lifting with the coach, don't be afraid. Just be thoughtful on how you feel that day. So anyways, let's look at some examples of the lifts of mine and try to guess the RPE. September 2024. 170 kilos on a deadlift. I pull sumo, hook grip. Nice and confident. Oh, hands got tired. If you need to quickly grab straps, deadlift straps, and finish your lift, that's fine. Just don't rest for way too long, or if you need to put more chalk, that's okay. I should have done this with just straps to not take a break, but I'm competing, I think, a couple of weeks from this. So I have to practice my grip. I'm required to practice my grip. Okay, so what RPE do you think this is? You can write in the comments. Very curious. I'm curious what you think. Now I'm also going to show you a shitty day of lifting. I think this is right when I got off the plane and I got some heavy squats, and boy, did things go wrong. So we have 167 kilos on the barbell. I think I was supposed to do 3 sets of 2. Right. Yep. No spotters in the gym. I was completely alone. I wish I had spotters. I would have been a lot more confident in finishing the lift if I had a back spot or 2 side spots. But I pulled the safety holds high in case I don't get up. Probably didn't eat well that day. Probably didn't hydrate well. I mean, I know how this goes. I just recorded the same video in Russian for my Russian clients. So we know how this goes. Russian-speaking clients, I should correct myself. If you're a Russian-speaking human being, by the way, you're welcome to check out my Russian channel. I will link it in the description and put the Telegram channel link in the description as well, and maybe some useful video in the corner. Boom. No, this did not go well. Just a couple of months ago, I squatted 180 in competition. Of course, I'm not peaked here. And of course, I should not have been calculating from my 1 rep max in competition, peaked condition, what weight I could squat 3 sets of 2. Well, I lowered the weight for the next set. So this is 62 and a half. Let's see how this goes. 1. I could have squeezed out 2. I would say this is RPE 9, but I just didn't go for it because I did not have a spotter and I didn't want to get up halfway and then like curl my upper spine and then lower myself. So shit day of lifting. That is okay. That is totally okay. That happens. I lowered this to 160. Let's see how this goes. This should be a confident 2 reps. Come on. You got this, girl. You got this. This must be 110 kilos and just 1 red plate and 1 blue plate instead of 2 red plates behind this blue one. You just cannot see. So that's really funny. I was like, what the hell happened? Let me know if you had the same reaction. But yeah, this must have been a warm-up from this same day. So let me show you some bench as well. So we don't just look at RPEs from squats, so we look at bench stuff. If you want to see how I warm up for my bench and set up, you can also check out the video in the corner. It's really short and concise and goes through all the main pointers in warming up for bench and setting up your successful strong arch. All right, 92.5 kilos. What have we got? That's a single. I'm gonna guess RPE 8. What do you think? I'm gonna guess I could have done another 2 reps on this one. 1 for sure, maybe 2. Let's look at another bench. Ooh, 100. Oh, that's block bench. Damn it. Yeah, I've only benched 100 once in the gym without a pause, so still not in a 100-kilo bench club, unfortunately. One day, maybe one day. Okay, nice. Double. I think I could have done 4. This is probably RP 8. I'm pretty sure I could have done that. What else are we going to look at? Let's look at maybe another deadlift. And then we're going to move to the RP calculator that I really want to share with you. It is free. It is fantastic. What the hell is this? 200 kilos? No, this is 190. 190. Okay. I do not remember if I pulled this or not. I look very serious. Finish it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's definitely RP 9.5. I think I could have chipped it. I could have probably added a kilo or 2, but not much. This is dope. This is a soft deadlift bar, by the way. I normally pull on a stiff bar. I do have a 190 in competition on a stiff bar. So it is official that I can pull this weight. It is official in competition. And let's look at one more squat. I think this is a cool squat to look at. We have 180. And this is a box squat. All right. Two side spots. Cool. I think this should be a triple. Yeah, that's RP 10, man. I could not have done any more. This is a lot of weight. This is my max squat, and I know I'm squatting on a block half range. It's still a lot of weight. It's a lot of weight even though it's on a block. It's ridiculous. Okay, let's move over to the powerlifting. plsource.org/rp-calc. And let's just have an example here. On the left, you have your inputs. Okay, so you have what you know you can do. So if my max weight, now this needs to be recent. So I can't use like 180 that I squatted for 1 rep or RP 10 in competition a year and like 2 months ago, I think a year, yeah. And then be like, oh yeah, if I wanna rep out sets of 5 at RP 8, then I should be able to rep this weight. That's not gonna happen. I weighed 77 kilos then, or even 78. I water cut into the competition. I weighed 72 at this point. If I wasn't pregnant, I would have weighed 72, which is my pre-pregnancy weight. So that's 5-6 kilos difference. That's a lot. That's 10 pounds. There's no way I would have squatted 180 with this weight, I think. I mean, if my strength stayed the same, maybe I could have gotten stronger, maybe. But I would say no. Let's be generous, but not that generous. Let's say my max was 170 at this weight in this current like emotional and physical state. Okay. And I could rep this out for one, not more, at a maximum RPE. And I have have it programmed to do a couple sets of 5 at RPE 8. Okay, so 2 reps in reserve, 2 RIR. Then the calculator recommends that I put 138 kilos on the barbell. I'm going to undershoot it, and I'm going to take this number and warm up probably to 130 and see how I feel. 135 maybe, and see how I feel. And be like, yeah, do I think this is RPE 8? Do I feel stronger? Maybe I could do 137.5. Maybe I could do 140. This is a baseline that the calculator is giving you that you can kind of go off of, so you don't guess 10 kilos under, 10 kilos over. This is kind of an approximation. Base it on how you're feeling mentally, physically, whether you've had enough food, whether you've had enough sleep, hydration. All of that matters. Super matters. When I give my client percentages, I usually give them, for example, like I tell her to squat 3 sets of 6, and I think she should be able to, and I write her like RPE 8. I think she should try between like 90 and 95 kilos. That's my guess. She's gonna try 90 and be like, is this legit, like RPE 8? Can I do 2 more reps with this weight? I could have probably done 3 more. Let's up it to 92.5. Let's up it to 95. So to my beginner clients, I will give an approximation because a lot of the times they have not tested for their 1 rep max. They do not have a lot of inputs to put on the left. They do not have a lot of baselines to go off of. So I'll give them an approximate guess weight, and they will try it, and kind of by figuring more of the unknown out, we are going to fill their knowledge about how each weight feels. We need to understand that they're getting stronger by the week. So if she did 95 kilos for sets of 5 on 1 week, in 2 weeks, in 3 weeks, maybe she can do 97.5 if she's a beginner. Your strength grows so fast when you're a beginner. Like your joints have trouble keeping up with it. Your ligaments have trouble keeping up with it. That's why everything hurts. Your muscles are growing, but the tendons are recovering slower, and you're like, holy crap. But you legit can do more weight. So I recommend using this as a baseline and as a guideline, but do not use this as like the Bible, the Quran to go off of. This is not ultimate truth. RPE, the benefit of RPE is because it is subjective versus percentages are not. And if my coach gives me percentages, I could be like, well, I feel weak as shit today. I don't know what to do. Or like you saw me pulling 190. I could have pulled 192.5 probably that day. Just that day looked really strong to me. Unexpected, that's okay. I think it's better to do a little bit under rather than overshoot and get injured, or rather than overshoot and like break form way too much and solidify broken technique, broken form. That's just my opinion. But there are also people who are always afraid and they always guess, whatever is RPE 8, they're going to do RPE 6 instead. They just super under guess. They really doubt themselves all the time. Maybe they're not comfortable lifting. They're not comfortable asking somebody to spot them, in which case, please take a friend, bring them to the gym. If there is a local coach, if you have a program online, a coach online like myself, but if there's a decent local coach who can just hang out with you and spot you and be there as a physical support next to you, hire them for an hour. One of my remote clients has hired me to remote coach them from the gym. So I'm just going to video call her for an hour, and I'm going to look at her lifting, and I'm going to tell her in the headphones in between sets what I think she could do, what I think she could do better. But again, I'm not physically there. So even though I'm helping her out, I think when I'm physically there for my clients, it makes more of a difference. As long as I'm an advocate for online programming and coaching, and it's flexible and amazing, and you can fill out the coaching application in the link in the description and hire me. It's fantastic. If you're an experienced athlete, if you're a beginner, it is very nice to just have somebody physically there for you, regardless if it's a friend or a coach or whoever, until you get comfortable and until you're okay doing everything by yourself, setting things up by yourself. I hope this video was useful. I tried to cover RPE the best that I could. If you want to get this description of RPE, that is a page from my book, The Vegan Powerlifting Starter Guide, that you can find on Amazon. It's fantastic. It's a 90-page of bulletproof information regarding training, nutrition, doing it on a vegan diet or a plant-based diet with plant-based equipment, selecting your equipment, and a couple of pages of scientific references to plug into this book to support whatever we are talking about. Let me know if you have any questions or comments. I'm happy to chat about RPE or anything else in the comments, and I will talk to you guys soon.